All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? It is about a quarter after 5 p.m. West Coast time. I'm going to call it a quarter after 2 Hawaii time, a quarter after 8 East Coast time, and a quarter after 7 for our not our West Coast time, people. Our Central time, folk. Wow, yeah, that didn't come out nearly as smoothly as it usually comes out. How are you guys today? It looks like we got a couple folks in the house. Derby Startup in the house, Shock in the house. We've got Terry and Scotland in the house. It looks like that's all that's here today, and that is fine and dandy. We might have a small, tiny little crowd, so we can talk about small, tiny little things, or big, super duper things, because sometimes the chatter, it does scatter. All right, we've got Terry and Scotland giving us 10,000 biddies, except for it's really only 1,000 biddies. And by the way, I don't mean only 1,000 biddies. What I really just mean is, whenever I see that number, I think it says 10,000. But then I'm like, no, wait, that's 1,000. And so, 1 biddy, 1,000 biddies, 10,000 biddies, it is absolutely all good to me because biddies are great. Looks like, though, we might also have Andre in the house because Andre is sneaking some flippin', flirpin', flying, forkin' gift subs. So thank you so much for gift subbing there, Andre. Good to see you in the house. Let's see here. Shock says, we can talk about gluten-free white pizza with Fontina cheese. Okay. That's a very specific thing that we can talk about. So, I have an idea. Thank you, Andre, for that 1,000 biddies. I have just a thought. And, oh my god, we're on Hype Train. All right, excellent. I'm liking this. But I have just a thought that perhaps, just maybe perhaps, Shock has a specific pizza in mind when she describes the gluten-free white pizza with Fontina cheese. So, while we ponder that, because it sounds like it might be tasty, I'm going to get the party started. But before even we do that, I'm going to say, hey, Puzzycat, good to see you. All right, so 400 biddies later, Andre's throwing down, and I still can't get the party started. So we're going to get the party started. Let's do it. Okay, there we have it. So, Shock says, I dragged my boss and a friend to the little family-run Italian resto that I've been going to since the 90s. Lovely, and I can only assume that Italian restaurant that you've been going to since the 90s is the one that has the gluten-free white pizza with Fontina cheese. Now, my question for you, Shock, or anybody who has the answer to this, Fontina cheese, you have a phone call. Well, somebody else might be able to answer this. Fontina cheese, well, no one will be able to answer this, but Fontina cheese, have I ever had this before? I don't know. Next question about Fontina cheese. Is it a goat cheese or a sheep cheese? For some reason in my head, I have it in my mind that it might be a goat cheese. And if it's a goat cheese, I know I won't like it. But I just don't know. But what I do know is Andre threw down another 400 biddies, so thank you so much, Andre, for that. So can anyone tell me, is Fontina cheese, is it a goat cheese, a sheep cheese, or a cow cheese? And you know, it's hard to get the gluten-free and vegan pizza for those with dietary needs. Yeah, for sure. And, you do not think Fontina is goat? For some reason, I do think it's goat, but then, like, another part of my head is just like, no, it's not. You've had it. You like it. So, I don't know. But what I do know is, indeedly do, Andre, getting a vegan, gluten-free anything is a bit of a sticky wicket. That being said, I've been told, because I cannot verify this myself, I have been told that vegan cheeses are getting better these days. Because vegan cheese before that is just awful. So now that vegan cheese is better, it is a little bit more likely that a vegan gluten-free pizza might be available. But hope Lala hasn't been bad for Lono and Luke. I saw the video of the damage and flooding on the Big Island in Maui and Oahu. Yeah, I don't know what's been going on with Luke, and I obviously don't exactly know what's been going on with Lono, but I do know that where Lono lives on Molokai, even though he's on the waterfront, because he doesn't seem to be in an area that gets a lot of flooding. And I know that obviously the track may have switched since I saw this, but I know last night the weather forecast for Molokai wasn't as extreme as it could have been. And so I'm thinking that Lono's probably okay. Photo Luke, on the other hand, on Oahu might be a little bit more of in a flood area, is what I'm trying to say. Because I don't know exactly where Luke lives. I know that Andy Bumatai is up high in Mililani, so he probably just has to worry about wind and rain damage of wind and rain damage, but no flooding. But yeah, fingers crossed that Luke is good. Fingers crossed that Lono is good. Really no idea with either of them at the moment. But Andre coming in with my answers. Fontina is a versatile cow's milk cheese. See, okay, I think I might have had it, and I think I like it. Originating from the Aosta, I don't know. From a valley in the Italian Alps. How about that? Authentic Italian Fontina features a rich, earthy, and nutty flavor with semi-soft, supple texture. Oh, this sounds tasty. While younger, mass-produced versions like those made in the US or Denmark are exceptionally mild, buttery, and smooth. Oh, okay. That sounds like a cheese I would love. Yes. And almond ones are good. I'm going to assume you mean gluten-free almond crusts, maybe, Andre? I'm not really sure what you mean by almond ones. So I'm going to assume we're talking about pizza crusts and the like. Miles posted on Facebook that he's high enough not to worry about oh, wait. I misread what you meant by high. So let's retry this one more time. Miles posted on Facebook that he's high enough not to worry about flooding, but you could hear the wind howling above his cat. Yes, I saw that post that he had a video of his cat Huma, and Huma's like looking around like, what is all this noise? And Pussycat, I saw rooftops gone and rivers overflowing on the Big Island and 20 plus inches of rain. Oh no, you mean, Andre, the almond milk cheese. Oh, I haven't heard of the almond milk cheeses. I've heard of the cashew-based cheeses, and those seem to be fairly good. And then, no, you misthought about Miles being high. Yeah, I got that. I mean, he could be high enough not to worry about the flooding. Figuratively speaking, right? I mean, he could be. But literally, he meant elevationally speaking. I don't know if elevationally speaking is even a real phrase, but we're going to say it was a real phrase. Yeah, exactly. And Pussycat, you saw rooftops gone and rivers overflowing on the Big Island with 20 plus inches of rain. Actually, Pussycat, check this out. Apparently, because I read this just before I started this stream, they're estimating that parts of Hawaii Island got 40 or more inches of rain last night. 40, not 20, because 20 is huge, actually, but 40 inches of rain in less than 24 hours. Ay. That is going to be some downstream situations going on there. I don't know how long it'll take before the floodwaters recede, but at 40 inches of rain, I think it's guaranteed that there's going to be some rivers that are above flood stage by a long shot. Yeah. And let's see here, Andre, there are not many rivers on the Big Island. Right, exactly. But the little creeks, they turned into rivers, I think, today. But that big one that goes through Hilo must be scary with the storm. Yeah, the one that's got the river that Rainbow Falls is on is running super huge, super big, super scary. I've seen some pictures of people like driving across a bridge over that river, and frankly, it's just like, you must not see the river that I'm seeing. Otherwise, you'd not go over that bridge, because that bridge looks like it's not gonna be able to sustain, to survive the force of the water that's coming through. Hey, DJ Smoot, good to see you. We are, as I'm sure you guessed, talking about the situation at hand in the islands right now, and hoping that that Photoluke is good, hoping that Lono is good. Both of them are in the lower elevations of the islands, from what I understand. Or no, they are. I know that. I mean, I don't know exactly where Photoluke lives, but I do know that he lives not up. He lives kind of low. And I know that Lono lives sea level, basically, or like maybe elevation 2 feet above sea level. And yeah, Hilo's getting pounded with flooding. Right, it makes sense, because, 40 inches of rain up at the top of the mountain has to eventually go down. And so I'm hoping that Hilo will be able to avoid major flooding issues, but it looks like the streets are, from what I've seen in Hilo Bay, the streets have turned to literal rivers. So hopefully it is designed with flooding in mind. I would like to think it might be, what with it being on the wet side of the island. I love Hilo, but it's never a real dry place for long. No, it's not a real dry place for long. In fact, actually, I have a friend in college who was from Hilo, and she said that it wasn't uncommon for people who lived out in the like out in the bush, basically. Like, they sometimes would literally have mold growing on their skin. It was so wet. If people who didn't bathe enough would actually start having mold growing on their actual skin. I actually had a friend when I worked as a mortgage loan processor for a mortgage refinance company. One of my fellow loan processors, her husband had such a neglectful mother in his childhood that he was so dirty that he had mold growing on his face when he was a little kid. I personally was shocked to learn that mold could grow on skin, but apparently it can. And I've known 2 people who have witnessed it in action. And let's see here. Well, the only thing I can say is, with that much rain, the Koki frogs are quiet. There you go. And let's see here. And the volcano could have had another eruption during the storm. That would have been insane. Well, have you, Pussycat, seen the pictures, not of the storm, but of the Perseids, I think that's how you pronounce it, meteor shower? There's been a couple pictures from the top of Haleakala on Maui that you could see not only the meteor showers going through the image, but you could see the eruption of Kilauea off in the distance. Those are some incredibly crazy pictures. And let's see here. Obligatory spouse phone call done, and you missed the entire discussion about cheese. Well, we realized that Fontina is a cow's milk cheese, and it comes from the Alps of Italy. So I've probably tried it. But, Chuck, I do want to know, how do they make their gluten-free pizza crust? That's what I meant to ask. What do they do to make the pizza crust gluten-free? I mean, well, Molly, they use something other than wheat flour to make the crust. Yeah, I know that part. What I really meant, you know what I mean, right? Right. Okay. Now, Terry in Scotland. I saw you, Terry. I skipped you. But Terry in Scotland wants to know, does anybody know when the Space Needle was completed, did you say? What year was the Space Needle completed? I actually don't know. I know what year the World's Fair was, so I know it had to have been at least that year or before. But I don't actually know. Pussycat, I know that your answer is wrong. And yes, from mold going on human sin back to mold and cheese. You got it. And you have no clue how they made it, but it was thin and crispy and overwhelmed by garlic and cheese. Oh, well, that sounds like a perfectly wonderful crust to me. Thin, crispy, overwhelmed by garlic and cheese. Sign me up. Pussycat, yes, older. Mama Sean, 1962 is when the World's Fair was, so it had to have been completed by then. But as it turns out, I guess 1961 is when the Space Needle was completed. Interesting. Andre says 62. Right, 62 was my inclination, but I also knew that it was totally possible that it was finished before the World's Fair. I used to date a guy whose dad was the one who painted the Seattle Science Center, and the Seattle Science Center was part of the Seattle Center complex that was used for the World's Fair. I think the Seattle Center complex actually was built for the World's Fair, and it has since become, well, just the Seattle Center. But all I know is the Science Center is pretty cool. It's got an IMAX theater, also pretty cool. And that's where I used to go when I was a teenager to watch Laser Floyd, man. But either way, it is still around and about. It is still being used for sciencey type stuff. It's like a science museum and stuff. And let's see here, the Space Needle was built between April of 61 and December of 61 for the 62 World's Fair. It officially opened April 21st, 1962. There you go. Pacola T, I was wondering where you were today, Lur Queen, checking in from the Mediterranean. I had a feeling that you weren't in Spain anymore, but I also had a feeling that you were near Spain still. And so let's see here. Terry coming in with more trivia about the Space Needle. It started in April, completed in December, known as the 400-Day Wonder. But wait, I'm confused. Dr. Steve said it started in 61. So okay, wait. All right, hold on. I'm very confused. So, if it was started in April of 61 and completed in December 61, how come it's known as the 400-Day Wonder? Because from April to December is not 400 days. 400 days is more than a year, because we've got 365 days in a year. And if it was, now this is very confusing, because you guys are completely, and when you guys, I mean Wikipedia and the like. So from April, all right, I'm getting all statistically here. From April 1961, when it was started, and then it opened in April 1962, that's only 365 days. So we've got another 35 days worth of whateverness to make that 400. Why is it called the 400-Day Wonder? Where are they pulling the 400 days out? That doesn't make any sense. Because it's less than 365 days from April 61 to December 61. But even if you say it wasn't ready until the day before it opened in 1962, that's still only 365 days. I'm going to start a petition. We're going to call it something different now. We're just going to call it the Space Needle, actually. Let's see here. I went to the Space Needle, but I did not want to go up it. Honestly, Andre, I'm saying this, I guess, as a local, but I don't really think it's worth it. I don't really think it's worth it. I've been up there. I've been up once, and honestly, it was just like, oh, wow, yeah, this is really, yeah. So, the Space Needle to me is neater to look at than look from. And you also got great pictures of the Space Needle from West Seattle with your super zoom camera. Exactly. Oh, Dr. Steve's grandpa. Dr. Steve got to watch it being built. That's awesome. And oh no, Kylo threw up his dinner today, and I think he has an upset stomach. I heard that cottage cheese is good for dog's stomach. I don't know about that, Pacola T, but excuse me, Puzzy Cat, sorry. Too many peas, I guess. I don't know if cottage cheese is good for dogs' tummies. But I have heard that pumpkin puree is good for dogs' tummies. But when I say good for their tummy, I don't mean it in the sense of this part. I mean it in sense of this part. If that makes any sense. Yeah. And the Stratosphere in Vegas is sort of modeled like the Space Needle. Don't they have a ride in Vegas at the Stratosphere that you can like jump off of it? I mean, you're not... There's a ride that you can... It's not... You don't jump off of the Stratosphere, but like there's a ride off of the top of the Stratosphere is what I'm trying to say. Isn't there? Or am I making that up? Because I am good at making that up. Or making things up. So, yeah, you got that too, and you know what I'm talking about. Okay, cool. Rice, pumpkin, and chicken, no dairy. Yeah, I've never heard about the cottage cheese thing. That kind of raised my eyebrow, even though I can't raise my eyebrow, but we'll pretend I can raise my eyebrow. And Terry in Scotland coming in with facts. Facts and facts and facts. Let's see here. Yeah, exactly, Andre. That's what I'm talking about. My daughter's dog eats pumpkin puree to keep things going through it. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And isn't a roller coaster on the Stratosphere? No, the roller coaster is in, I think it's like the New York building or whatever. They've got a roller coaster. But no, the Stratosphere is like a, in my potentially made up memory, it's like, it's sort of like a base jump from the build. Like you get in, it's like a free, it's sort of like a bungee jump, but in a container, I think. Somebody help me, please. All right. So Terry in Scotland, though, talking about the Space Needle, was once the tallest building west of the Mississippi. Really? The tower is 138 feet wide, weighs, and it's 605 feet tall. It weighs 955 short tons. I don't know what short ton... What? What's a short ton? Is a short ton just different than a... What's a short ton? I've heard of tons. I've heard of metric tons. I've never heard of short tons. Is short ton just the same thing as a ton, but different? Okay, so let's see here. All right, so, but what it says, okay, so it weighs 9,550 short tons. It is built to withstand winds of up to 200 miles an hour. Whoa. And earthquakes of up to 9.0 magnitude, as strong as a 1700 Cascadia earthquake. I don't want to be anywhere near that. I don't believe them. I think they say that it's going to survive a 9.0 earthquake, but I don't believe them. And let's see here. Picola T says, there are indeed a couple rides on Stratosphere I would never go through because Picola T doesn't do heights. Okay, so the Stratosphere, now officially called the Strat. Oh, I had no idea. Hotel Casino Tower features extreme open-air thrill rides and a controlled leap. I'm talking about the controlled leap. I didn't realize they had multiple, so maybe they do have a roller coaster. Current operational attractions include the Big Shot Tower Launch, the X Scream Teeter Totter, and the Sky Jump Free Fall Experience, with tickets starting at $29 for a single ride and tower admission. Okay, there you go. And Terry in Scotland, not helpful. Terry in Scotland, trying to be helpful. I'm sure he's trying to be helpful. Yeah, Terry, you're being real helpful. A short ton is shorter than a long ton. You might be being serious, dude, but I don't know what a long ton is either, and I have a feeling you actually are just poking a button. And Pussycat, I don't want to imagine being on the earth, on the needle during an earthquake. That sounds terrifying. Because I can only assume it's designed to sway. And I'm not really a fan of heights to begin with. But if I'm at heights, I don't want to, like, be swaying. Okay, so here we go. A short ton, says Andre, is a ton with short man syndrome. I'm unwilling to accept that as reality. Shock says a US ton is a short ton. That is 2,000 pounds. A long ton is 2,240 pounds. A long ton is imperial or British. And so how much? So a metric ton, I'm assuming, is even more different, is different than a long ton as well. So we've got 3 different ideas of what a ton is: a short ton, a long ton, and a metric ton. Is this what I'm understanding? Because I always just thought there was 2 of them. There was the metric ton and the US ton, which I just called a ton, not a short ton. So a metric ton is 1,000 kilograms, so that's 2.2 thousand. So a long ton is even more heavier than a metric ton. And I realize more heavier is not, we're not going to talk about my English, okay? So an English long ton is actually heavier than a metric ton. And yeah, a metric ton is known as a tonne, T-O-N-N-E. I did know that, Terry. Or at least that's how I always spell it. When I use the term metric ton, I always spell ton that way. And Pussycat, I get vertigo too. If you look down from real heights, yeah. I don't know what you mean. From excitement heights? I think you probably meant extreme heights, not excitement. AutoCarrot decided you were excited. And so yes, a metric ton is about 1.1 short tons. Right, but hold on. But the long ton is 40 pounds more than the metric ton, right? Is that what I'm getting? And the reason why I ask, y'all, is because a kilogram is about 2.54. I thought it was 2.2. I've gone all my life thinking it was 2.2. Are you serious? Kilogram to pound. What? I am absolutely looking up right now. No, dude, it's 2.20462. Mang. A kilogram is about 2.20462 according to the Googs. According to the Googs, man. According to the Googs. And so if it's that 2.2 whatever, then it would have to be more 40 pounds more. And Andre, I remember going to the top of the Eiffel Tower and just wanted to drop things off of it. And actually, Shock, I am kind of shocked because you're usually very right about things. And honestly, the only reason why I double checked you was because I absolutely expected I expected you to be right, and I was checking my wrong, but as it turns out, I was wrong. That's really weird. Andre, you hit it on the head. As an ex-drug dealer, I should know kilos. Precisely, dude. That's why when she told me that poundage was off, I was like, whoa, dude. My whole historical mathematical framework has just been paradigm shifted. I need to go double check. But no, I was right. It was 2.2. And it's kind of weird how it's 2.2 pounds or 2.2 Yep, that's what I'm talking about. And Shock, you just said something. You just contradicted what I'm about to say. I was just about to say, isn't it interesting how 2.2 kilograms equals 1 pound and 2.2 kilometers equals 1 mile? But now, Shock just said she was confusing miles and kilometers, which says to me, maybe kilometers aren't 2.2 for every mile. And that math I'm not nearly as familiar with because I am not a marathon runner or a 5K runner or a 10K runner or a marathon walker or a 5K walker or a 10K walker. So that math, not familiar to my psyche. And Puzzy, I heard that if you throw a penny off the Empire State Building, you can kill somebody with it. I've heard that too. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I will tell you this. I don't want to find out. I don't want the charges, and I don't want the drop. So on either end of the experiment, I don't really want to be a part of it. And oh, Shock, no, dang it, I'm wrong again. So Shock, is it 2.2 for the miles to kilometers as well? If so, that is a really weird coincidence that I'd never really compared. And let's see here. The rapper 2 Chainz, the rapper has a rap about converting kilo brick of drugs into ounces. Yeah, there you go. Oh, it's 1.6 miles to 1 kilometer. Oh, wow. Well, I was way the off. Huh. Why did I... All right. Well, I don't know what I'm talking about, but here is what I do know. I do know that it is time for our Lono listening break. And I do know that this is the latest Lono off of his channel. If you have not been paying any attention to Lono music on YouTube, you won't know this song. But if you have been paying attention to Lono music on YouTube, you might have already heard this song. This is a cover of Celio and Capono, a song from the 70s. And yeah. That's all I can tell you because I'm really not particularly familiar with Celio and Capono's music catalog. I do know that Celio is no longer allowed in the United States because he's running from very serious charges. And I do know that Henry Capono, kind of a creepy dude for letting his partner be that creepy, but we won't get into that. All right, let's listen to this Lono song, shall we? Let's. Okay, apparently I did not upload the Lono song, so you're gonna get some black space. You're gonna watch me. You're gonna watch me upload the song. Sorry, y'all. I didn't know that I didn't do it. I totally thought I did it last night, which is why I didn't do it today. But whatever. We're still gonna listen to Lono. All right, there you go. That is not a Lono song. You cannot get that on any Lono album. However, you can get that on a C&K album. I don't know which one, so I'm not going to tell you. But as Pacola T told you, it's called Lovin' in Your Eyes. And I'll bet you the Googles can tell you exactly where to find that album. However, you don't have to find the album if you just want to listen to that song. And you just want to listen to Lono doing that song. You can listen to Lono doing that song on Lono's channel on YouTube. By the way, Lono's channel on YouTube is not called Lono Music. I don't know why I kept saying that. It's called Kaupe'epe'e, and that is spelled Kaupe'epe'e, Kaupe'epe'e. However, if you do a YouTube search for Lono Music, it will also take you right to his page. This is his latest video, so it should be at the top of the list. And, Pacola T, I went to a Waikiki Shell concert hosted by Henry Kapono, celebrating 50 years of his music. Embarrassed to admit I knew words to all the songs. Pacola T, there is no need for you to be embarrassed for a couple of reasons. First off, it is the music of your heyday and your youth. And so those songs, those lyrics, those words, those are embedded into your soul. Even if you don't like the artist, they're still gonna be embedded. And if you liked them, which you obviously did because you went to his show, you know they're embedded. I'll tell you what right now, Terry in Scotland kind of was a witness to this, though not really a witness. But either way, Terry in Scotland, he played a Taylor Swift concert as one of his movies one day that he was streaming. And I was at work and I was listening to that concert for the whole 3 hours or whatever. I don't dislike Taylor Swift, but I don't like her. I am, to my knowledge, absolutely unfamiliar with the body of her work. I couldn't name a Taylor Swift song to save my flippin' life. I knew every single song in that 3-hour concert and could sing along with the vast majority of them. I even told Terry that. I was like, I didn't even know that I knew as many Taylor Swift songs as I did. Dang, she gets everywhere. So I don't even like Taylor Swift and I know all of her songs. So the fact that you knew there's no embarrassment. I'm a little embarrassed about the Taylor Swift thing, but there's no embarrassment for you. Terry in Scotland coming in with the most random trivia that is kind of funny. The tallest building in the world is the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. I couldn't find the world's shortest building. Fair enough. C Honda coming in just after our Lono music break. C Honda, do you know where the shortest building in the world is? I don't know if they actually have that category. And let's see here. Trailed us. I am subscribed to a channel called Lono Music on YouTube. Well then maybe is that the same Trailed us? Is that the same Lono Music that we're talking about? Or is it different? And Pussycat, your daughter is a Swiftie. It seems like every girl is a Swiftie these days, and that's totally cool because her songs are, she's an incredible performer. I was exhausted just watching that 3-hour concert. I can't even imagine her performing it. It really was impressive. And I'm not even a Swiftie, but even I can, she's a good performer. She's a singer-songwriter. She owns her own, she's for someone who started her career fairly young. Not only has she maintained it for quite some time, she has maintained a control over her career. She had to evolve into it, but she has gotten control over her career. She is an impressive businesswoman as well. Let's see here. Andre, I've never wanted to go to Dubai. Andre, that's interesting because you seem to want to always go everywhere. You've been everywhere, and where you haven't been, you seem to want to go. But I, too, have never wanted to go to Dubai. First off, I'm a woman and I just don't really feel comfortable in the whole Middle East with that whole situation. But really, regardless of that, dude, I am not rich enough to go to Dubai. I don't have enough money to think about breathing air in Dubai. Dubai is a level of wealth that I can't even comprehend. It's intimidating. And I generally don't get intimidated by wealth. I kind of scoff and mock it. But Dubai level money is like not they literally can buy and sell me. I can't, there's nothing about Dubai that, it is an intimidating country. I would not want to go there. And Dubai, let's go to a strict Muslim and party with booze just seems like a rude thing to do. If I was in Dubai and I was at a party that had booze, I don't care if everybody was drinking it. I would be afraid to be the one foreigner that gets arrested for breaking the law while all the locals get to break the law. I can't even. And Pocola T, Dubai was jaw-dropping. Abu Dhabi was even more stunning. And yes, hard to wrap my head around that level of wealth. Yeah, totally, dude. And Trail Dust, exactly. I have enough money to travel to my mailbox. Yes, that's about exactly. And let's see here. Pussycat talking about his daughter. She spent hundreds of dollars on the t-shirts and albums and anything else that she could find at the Taylor Swift concert. Well, for real though, dude, like if some of those things, well, especially the t-shirts, you know, those are memorabilia. But some of the stuff, if you can only get it at the concert, you're either going to pay top dollar at the concert or you're going to pay topper dollar on the eBay aftermarket, right? And shoot, dude, when I was a kid, those concert t-shirts were running like $30 a pop anyway. When I was, and that was back in the 1900s. I can only assume a concert t-shirt these days easily costs $60. And by the way, when I say $60, I'm actually guessing on the low end, but I'd be willing to bet. Now, granted, I don't know. I haven't been to an arena concert and I can't tell you how many years. The last arena concert I went to was Ozzy Osbourne at the Tacoma Dome. And that concert, many of you have already heard the story about when I gave away free beer after the show because no one locked up the beer cart. And that was I gave away maybe like $175 worth of beers. But I did not buy $175 worth of concert t-shirts, but I probably could have. And if I had $175 extra to spend on concert t-shirts, that is. And let's see here. Right, there you go, Andre. I went to Monaco, and man, did I feel small and poor. Exactly. I feel small and poor. I'm a hobo. Do you want me to shine your shoes? Because I'm just a hobo. That's how I would feel in Monaco. In Monaco, that's how I'd feel. I don't even want to know how I'd feel in flipping Abu Dhabi, Dubai. And Pocola T, see, and this is me. I was so paranoid going to Dubai. Honestly, for real. Oh my God, no way, Pocola T. Okay, so Pocola T says, I was so paranoid going to Dubai, I convinced my doc to give me written prescription for my Benadryl. It's considered a controlled drug there. Now that is so terrifying to me because let's just say I have all the money in the world. It actually, all the money in the world fell into my pocket just yesterday, let's just say. And then let's just say I got hit on the head with a brick and I decided I wanted to go to Dubai. Let's just say. It never would have occurred to me that this Walgreens allergy relief, which is Benadryl, would be something I would need to ask for a prescription for. Oh my God. Oh my goodness gracious. All right. Yeah, no. And Andre bring up a very good point. If you pay multiple hundreds for the tickets to the concert, the t-shirts are going to cost you a bunch. There you go, Andre. See, now that is A plus B equals C. Very logical. So yeah. And Pussycat, wasn't there a fire at one of the skyscrapers in Dubai? I don't know. But that sounds terrifying. I can only hope and assume that with as rich as they are in Dubai, they have some state-of-the-art emergency fire protection systems going on. I can only hope and assume. Hopefully. And melatonin is controlled in Germany. Interesting. See, once again, I'm learning something that honestly should be obvious to anyone who travels and perhaps is. But yeah, Shock is coming in with the truth. Trip prep should include validating your medication's legality. I've had to get a permit to take my benzos to Thailand. One of the reasons I quit them. Right, yeah. So, yeah, some of the things that seem just the most benign and innocuous, like Benadryl. I mean, I knew that I would have to, if I went anywhere in the world, I would have to bring my Bupadoos, my antidepressants, my thyroids, my cholesterols. I knew I'd have to bring the actual prescription drug container to show. But for something like the Benadryls, this never would have occurred to me. Never would have occurred to me to check. Not 1 second it would have occurred to me. Nor for melatonin. I don't have any melatonin, but no, melatonin wouldn't have occurred to me either. And, let's see here. Dubai has so much surveillance that they even caught Mossad in an attempted assassination. Wow, dude, that's pretty surveillance heavy because Mossad has been known to not leave any, like, Mossad, I'm not saying that the Israeli special services are special, but they kind of are. Mossad don't play. They don't even exist for the most part, right? I mean, wow, they got caught in the middle of something? That's not good. And see, Honda, what a great, thing to remember. All I know is the biggest room is room for improvement. That is totally. And Andre, no, wait, not Andre. Who is it that wrote what I just think hold on. Where did it go? Somebody wrote something. I think it was Pocola T, maybe. Biggest room for improvement. Okay, no, Andre. Okay, no, Andre was the one who said it. Plus, in Dubai, the royals can arrest you for no reason if they feel like it. I feel like I would be one of those people that gets arrested for no reason. They just felt like it. And let's see here. Ibuprofen is not over the counter in Switzerland. That doesn't surprise me, C. Honda. I know that it's not over the counter in the UK either. I don't believe, at least in England, it sounds like it's not. Terry in Scotland, can you confirm or deny ibuprofen? Ooh, ibuprofen right here. Ibuprofen. Is this available at the drugstore, at the apothecary, at the apothec from in England? Is this, or in Scotland? And Pussycat, if you went through, they'd say, "Oh no, what the is wrong with you?" And Pocola Tea, and yet it's easy to get over-the-counter antibiotics overseas. Go figure. That is weird. Because, because here's the deal, like, from what I understand from my friend who lives in England, she's from the United States. So she came from people gobbling ibuprofen by the handful to going to an area where ibuprofen is just like not available at all because of the stroke risk. They are absolutely stroke risk issues. And so they don't prescribe them there in the UK. I don't know how the UK feels about the antibiotics, but I know that in the United States, a lot of doctors are really hesitant to prescribe antibiotics because of the antibiotics overuse. And it's like, how are we overusing them in the US if we're not... You mean to tell me that people overseas just have willy-nilly access to antibiotics? That blows my flipping mind, y'all. I mean, that really blows my mind. I will admit, I wish that for urinary tract infections, we did have over-the-counter antibiotics because those are fairly straightforward. But carte blanche antibiotics, just OTC? That's so weird. And so Andre's coming in. Russia's got a real problem with the overuse of antibiotics. And Terry in Scotland saying ibuprofen is suspected of causing some kidney damage. Okay, so, really? Oh, so Terry in Scotland says ibuprofen is a widely available non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug in the UK, primarily used to relieve mild to moderate pain. She made it sound like she couldn't get ibuprofen to save her life. I'm so confused. It's available over the counter in most pharmacies and shops without a prescription for adults and children. Well, then my friend is just lying to me or stupid. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad that in the UK, whoops, that's the wrong pill. I'm glad in the UK that they're allowed ibuprofen because ibuprofen works. And Tylenol, acetaminophen. Sorry, Tylenol, acetaminophen. Here, let's see if we can. Yeah, there we go. See that? Actually, I'm gonna ask you guys. Does anybody use this? Acetaminophen. Doesn't have to be name brand. Does anybody use Tylenol / acetaminophen? And does it work for you? And if it does work for you, what are you using it for? So multiple questions here. Do you use it? Does it work for you? What does it work for? Because I have yet to find anything that this works for. Other than a fever reducer, fine. Okay, fever reducer, fine. But because of my stroke, I was under the impression I really wasn't supposed to use ibuprofen anymore. So I went and I bought Tylenol. And for all of my ankle and knee and body aches, Tylenol doesn't do anything. Okay, so and in England, acetaminophen, Tylenol is called paracetamol. Paracetamol, I don't know how that's pronounced, but that's what it is. Same thing. I absolutely don't understand how Tylenol is legal. And Puzzycat, you use it. What do you use it for, and does it work for you? Well, okay. If you use it, I'm assuming it works for you. So what is it that you're using it for? Because this does not work for me. But I also know that Tylenol does huge amounts of kidney damage. And so why does this thing that doesn't work, that causes kidney damage, the first thing that doctors tell you to try? I don't get it. And what does it work for? What? It never works for me. And Andre coming in with other reality. I about called Andre Amazon. I don't really know why I called him Amazon, because that wasn't even in what he wrote. But anyway, Andre, you cannot buy brand name Advil in standard UK shops or supermarkets. However, Advil's active ingredient is ibuprofen, which is universally available under local brand names like Nurofen or as a cheap generic ibuprofen. And Terry in Scotland, OxyContin works for me. I do not like OxyContin at all. I do not like oxycodone. I don't like OxyContin. I don't like any of those. They work, but they work way too well. And C Honda also, Tylenol does not work for me. I don't use it. Picola Tea, we use Tylenol for pain relief. We use it sparingly. Puzzycat, it's in your prescription. Okay, well that's a different story. That's a different story. Wait, because now everyone knows that Obcalp is Obcalp. I don't know what Obcalp. Wait, what? Okay, there you go. You call me Amazon because I deliver the info fast. I like that, Andre. But, shock, help. Oh, placebo. Because now everyone knows that placebo is placebo. But I'm confused. Are you saying that this is... Wait, no, that's wrong. That's the wrong... Are you saying that this is a placebo? Are you saying that the Tylenol is a placebo? I just don't think it works for anything that I got problems with. And your dumb brother-in-law went bananas when his doctor cut him off from Oxy. Oh, well, yeah, dude, I'm sure he did. He was probably physically addicted to it and probably went through some very uncomfortable moments when he got cut off from the Oxys. Because, yeah, it's problematic. I wouldn't be surprised if he, did he turn to the street or start using Kratom or Kratom or whatever? Because that's what a lot of people do when they get cut off their Oxys. They either turn to the street or they turn to Kratom. I don't know if Kratom is readily available where you're at, but it is everywhere here in the Pacific Northwest. And we actually did a little thing about Kratom earlier, a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, a long time ago. And if you don't remember what Kratom is, it's this herb that affects your, your opioid receptors, and it kind of makes you high like you're on heroin. And lots of people like to use it who used to be heroin addicts. It keeps them from going through withdrawal and having withdrawal symptoms. And let's see here, OxyContin is some serious pain medication. Absolutely, yeah, totally. They and the drug company that made it got sued for how serious it is, because they didn't disclose just how serious that medication was. Are we now talking about gas station drugs? Well, sort of. I mean, we're all over the place, my friend. But yeah, gas station drugs, aka Kratom, for sure. But you guys, totally different story, except for the same story, except for sort of same. Speaking of gas station stuffuses, things you can get at the gas station. Did you know that 7-Up is going to be different now? Did you know that they changed the formula for 7-Up? I haven't tried the new formula for 7-Up, but 7-Up, as you might know, traditionally has been a lemon lime flavored soda. But did you know that they're changing it up now? It's now going to be lime lemon. I have no idea how much different it tastes, but it's lime lemon now, and I prefer lime to lemon, so I am very curious. Have you guys tried it? Is it good? I might actually go and drink a soda just to give it a whirl, or drink some sugar just to give it a whirl. I probably won't drink the whole thing though. And Pussycat, talking about a gas station sort of. I got a 7-Eleven Hot Wheel car today at your 7-Eleven. It's pretty cool. Sweet, dude. Awesome. I thought of you the other day, Pussycat. There was an ad on my Facebook feed for this local garage sale / yard sale. And it had a bunch of Hot Wheels cars still in their original packaging. A whole bunch of Coca-Cola, like metal Coca-Cola truck stuff still in their packaging. I don't have a lot of extra money to spend, but if I did, I would have hit that flippin' flirpin' that yard sale up, because it had so many old toys. It had so much cool stuff, actually. It had mannequins, it had carousel horses, it had cool toys. It had this incredible cedar. They had several cedar chests, one of which had this incredible form line painting of a Thunderbird that I totally wanted. But, you know, like I said, I don't have a lot of money, so I didn't go. I just drooled over the pictures. But let's see, it's a GTR 35 in 7-Eleven colors. There you go. Andre, do you know why they prescribe so much Oxy in the coal mining areas? Well, we watched that video or that movie series starring Michael Keaton, and it talked about that, but I don't really remember why they I mean, there's a lot of people on disability and in pain. Oh, because the opiates help you not feel like you're drowning because of the lung damage from black lung. Interesting. That's just horrible. And yes, the lime lemon 7-Up is supposed to contain a bit more lime now. Exactly. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Because I likey me some lime. And I don't drink soda, so I don't anticipate I'll be drinking the whole thing. Because last time I tried to drink soda at the movie theater, holy crumb, dude. That is a lot of sugar in soda. Soda has a lot of sugar. And I haven't drank a soda in years upon years upon years, and so for a special occasion, I thought I was gonna do that. Oh God, it made my tummy feel really weird and gross, and I couldn't finish it. It was way too much sugar. Puzzycat, you have Sprite in the fridge? Nice, there you go. But you guys, okay, so actually, speaking of sugar, you guys, I found this thing yesterday. I was at the grocery store. And this package of, the first thing I saw was passion fruit. And I was like, passion fruit? What's going on here? I love passion fruit. So I bought this bag of gummy candies. Now they're sour gummy candies. Okay? And I'm not a huge fan of gummies or sours, but I thought I would give them a try. These are really good, but when I looked at the label, I was gobsmacked. Y'all, okay, first off, I looked up the company, and the company is these two Iranian-American women who grew up in Hawaii, on Oahu. And basically, they noticed in the candy aisle that there's not a lot of, well, first off, they love sour. They're all about the sour. And they noticed that in the candy aisle, especially the sour candy aisle, there aren't really a lot of tropical flavors the way with fruits that they grew up with. And so they've created these better sour candies. Watermelon uzu, yum. Guava, calamansi, lime, oh, I need some. Pomegranate, apricot, sign me up. Passion fruit, these are what I bought yesterday and they're delicious. Tart cherry, couldn't care less and I have no idea. Mango, I want to try them. These are really, really good. And the stars, I don't know about all of the packages, but what I can tell you is the stars, like, you know, you can see here the shells don't advertise it. The watermelon uzu stuff doesn't advertise it. But the shells, excuse me, not the shells, the stars, those have 3 grams of sugar. And that's it. 2 of the grams of sugar are added sugars. So 1 of the grams of sugar comes from the fruit juices, the flavoring. There's no... Let's see here. There's no red 40 or red 3. All of the colorings come from fruit juice. But what is crazy to me about this, first off, yes, okay, only 3 grams of sugar. Awesome. This is the nutrition label from the sour. The better sour is the yellow and blue nutrition label. The other nutrition label is for Sour Patch Kids. Traditional sour gummy candies that you find on the candy aisle. Dude, first off, 1 serving of the Sour Patch Kids is 30 grams. 1 serving of the Better Sours is 51 grams. So the Better Sours has a bigger serving size. The Better Sours are only 70 calories versus the 110 for Sour Patch Kids. So 40 calorie difference, 40 calories less, bigger serving. That's awesome, right? How many added sugars do you see in the Sour Patch Kids? 24 grams of added sugars. Dude, how many added sugars do you see on the Better Sours? 2 grams of added, 3 total. But what is the most incredible is Can you see how much dietary fiber is in the Better Sours? 54% of your daily recommended dietary fiber, 15 grams, 54% of your dietary fiber is in this one package of candy. I was stunned. Andre coming in. Allulose, also called D-psychose, is a rare sugar naturally found in tiny amounts in figs, raisins, and maple syrup. It tastes and bakes like regular table sugar and provides about 70% of its sweetness, but has nearly 0 calories and does not raise blood sugar. I'm going to assume that sugar was the last word in what Andre was trying to post. And so yeah, you guys, if you at all are interested in sour candies, Picola Tea, they do sell fiber gummies. So yeah, I guess this is made with the same with the same sort of fiber thing that the gummies are, only with different flavors. But for real, y'all, if you've got kids or grandkids who love Sour Patch Kids or whatever, these are available. I got these at Safeway. These are available at Safeway. They're kind of expensive. I think it was like $3.29 or something for this little package. But you might want to look into these instead of the regular gummy bears or the regular Sour Patch Kids. Because trust me, y'all, they are sour. They do. I mean, the sour sort of builds up, but they are sour. So these are a newer brand from what I understand. They just came out in 2026. I really encourage you guys, if you're in the mood for a sweet tooth, and 3 grams of sugar isn't really that bad. So allulose is a sugar too and can affect your heart, and it does with you, so I cannot eat those. Watch the allulose. Okay, so Mama Sean, don't eat these. Don't eat these, Mama Sean. But if you are in a situation where you can handle the allulose, by all means, I really encourage you guys to give this a whirl. It tastes, I've only tried the passion fruit, but the passion fruit tasted like sour passion fruit. It was good. And let's see here. It's 4:23 a.m. here, and now you're hungry. Sorry, Picola Tea. And let's see here. They got those at the Safeway near me, or the bigger one near the L&L. I'm sure they've got them at the bigger one near L&L, but no, these were the ones. This was the one closest to my house. And yes, Terry in Scotland coming in. Date powder is becoming popular. I just recently saw a post on YouTube, Facebook, I'm not going to tell you where, doesn't really matter, of this guy using date paste to sweeten stuff. I've never heard of date paste. I've never heard of date powder, but dates by themselves are so flippin' sweet. I am totally excited to look for date powder or date paste, because using that as a date sugar, date powder, date paste. I'm very curious about the nutritional profile of it, because things like stevia I just cannot with. And so there you go. And then let's see here. You also said something, Terry in Scotland. Here we go. I really like Monster Energy Ultra Vice Guava. I wish I could find it without all the caffeine, which can bring on migraines. Well, Terry in Scotland, I thought, are there any Monster Energy drinks that don't have caffeine? I thought Monster, all of them had caffeine, hence the energy. I don't drink Monster, so I don't know anything about their selections. But I don't drink Monster because they're not, from my understanding, they're not bubbly, they're not carbonated. And I prefer a carbonated canned drink. I don't know if I'm right about that. Monster might have some carbonated versions of things, but I always thought that they were just flat. And they include the allulose and the sugar count, so not the really correct sugar count. Oh, Terry, they are carbonated? Why did I think they weren't? Let's see here. Hold on. Pecola tea, the best you've ever had. All right, fine. You guys, we have a reason to go to Dubai now. The best dates Pecola tea ever had were in Dubai. I'm not really at all surprised, actually. At all surprised that the best dates you've ever had were in Dubai. Okay, Monster, all of them have caffeine. Okay, that's what I thought. And Pussycat, just buy juice. Well, juice is a lot of sugar, dude. Juice has got, like, one glass of orange juice has as much sugar as one can of Coca-Cola. So juice is not, if you're trying to avoid sugar, juice is not, it's just not the way to go. And oh my God, Terry in Scotland, no kidding, Dubai chocolate is the bomb. You guys, if you haven't had Dubai chocolate yet, well, first off, if you're allergic to pistachios, or I guess probably tree nuts, because I think pistachios are off of a tree. If you're allergic to tree nuts, you should not have Dubai chocolate. But, if you aren't allergic to tree nuts, oh my, Dubai chocolate is problematic because I try to avoid sugar. And whenever I see a Dubai chocolate bar in the grocery store, it becomes a battle of wills inside myself. They are so good. They are so good. They're so good. So let's see here. So allulose. Yeah, so allulose is so soluble tapioca fiber was the number one ingredient, then water, then allulose, then tapioca syrup, then apple juice concentrate. So allulose and the apple juice are probably where the sugars are coming from. All I know is 54 grams of fiber. Even if this was 14 grams of sugar, 54 grams of fiber is kind of impressive to me. And let's see here. Yep, all right, that's what we're saying. Yes, I see, Pussycat, we're at a 2-minute warning, and now we're actually at a 1-minute warning. But Andre says, Monster Energy rarely makes caffeine-free drinks, and they do not currently offer a standard caffeine-free option in the United States. Past options like Monster Unleaded were discontinued due to low demand, although a niche 250 milliliter zero caffeine green can exists for restaurant mixing in Japan and select import shops. All right, there we go. Right, yeah, Mama Sean, they don't include the allulose in the sugar count. Yeah, that's, I think you said that, or that is what I thought you were talking about. Yeah, so I don't know then how many grams of sugar there are, because they say there's 3 grams of sugar. That's what they say here on the label. And so by United States labeling standards, they're telling what they're supposed to. But perhaps United States labeling standards haven't caught up to the allulose trick yet. I don't know. But what I do know is, I thought these were tasty. I never would have guessed they only had 3 grams of sugar, and I never would have guessed that they had 54 grams worth of dietary fiber. So there you have it, Rabbit. All right, something important that you guys need to know. There will be no streaming on Wednesday. Well, I won't be streaming on Wednesday. Somebody might stream on Wednesday, but it's not going to be me. So, we will not see each other on Wednesday. I've got a previous appointment that I have to deal with, and so no show on Wednesday, but on Saturday we will be back with Secret Squirrel Cinema, and then Sunday, once again, another chat show like today. So, thank you everybody for hanging out. Is Luke here? No, Luke's not here, I hope. Anyway, I hope everybody is cozy and warm. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope that your belly gets full pretty soon, Pecola tea. And fingers crossed, everybody from Hawaii is with power, no floods, and has their belly full. All right. And Terry, I actually got the streetcar in my messenger, and I messaged you back. But thank you so much, Terry, for getting Streetcar Named Desire. That will be one of the movies we'll be watching shortly soon, one day. All right. Have a good one. See you soon.